The U.S. District Judge William J. Haynes. And of course, Judge Haynes, before we end the show for today, let's give you an opportunity to talk about some practical aspects of the judicial system. Since May the 17th was recently passed, we do know that the 17th of May of 1954 represented one of the most important decisions of Brown versus the Board of Education at Topeka, Kansas. And quite a while ago, we had you on a panel of individuals to talk about the decision of 1954. Let's give you an opportunity to talk about some of the other aspects of the Constitution and race relations during this last 5 minutes that we have here.
Well, race has been a factor in the Constitution since it was formed. During the debates leading to the formation of the Constitution, the issue of how to count slaves for determination of representation in the Congress was a hotly debated issue among the constitutional delegates. In addition, there were other aspects of the Constitution, for example, on taxing the migration of slaves, of persons that was a part of the constitutional debate. The original constitutional debate also discussed that the Congress would not have the authority to end slavery for another 20 years or more after the Constitution was enacted. And finally, there was a provision in the Constitution that basically said that if a slave escaped to another state, that state would honor the original state's authority over that slave and return it. Of course, there are several stages to the issue of race in the Constitution. The late Leon Higginbotham, who was a judge of the Third Circuit Court of Appeals and in the final years taught at Harvard and was a federal member of the Federal Trade Commission, did a wonderful book on the different stages. That stage I just referred to was among the first. The second stage, significant stage, of course, involved the reformation of the Constitution with the addition of the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments after the Civil War that were designed to give rights to the slaves who had been freed by the Civil War. The next significant development in terms of the Constitution was really a function of the political process of a compromise arising out of a presidential election where federal troops were removed and states basically had the authority to enact Jim Crow laws that resulted in the resegregation of the South by law, and the Brown decision reflected the beginning of the fourth era, where rights of African Americans and black citizens were being restored to an equal basis with other citizens of the community. So Brown was a extremely significant decision under the Constitution, but also I think as a stimulant, if you will, for other social and legal changes that occurred in the country. It was a monumental moment in the history of this country.
And so you would say that the Brown decision of 1954 probably represents the epitome in terms of what the Constitution has said in reference to race. Would that be a correct statement?
I think Brown represented the reaffirmation of the basic concept of the Constitution, that all persons are created equal, with the opportunity to pursue happiness and to enjoy the same legal rights as other citizens. And it provided the legal basis to make that principle a reality.
Now, and of course, Judge, we've got about 1 minute and 44 seconds, and I wouldn't want to raise this question, give you 1 minute and 44 seconds. But where are we going from here in terms of race in the Constitution? Do you think that the final statement has been made by the court in reference to this?
Well, the issue of race has been an ongoing debate in the country at large, and also under the Constitution. And I suspect that that debate will go on for a while. And I think, as one justice of the Supreme Court said, people often ask what's the law. The better question is what are the facts. Once the facts become clear, then the law becomes clear, much like the leaves of the tree turn toward the sun. So as the American society evolves, as the facts change, the law normally reflects the realities of the moment.
And to accommodate those changes.
Consistent with the principles of the Constitution.
Very good. Very good. And of course, Judge, let me thank you for coming by over the last half minute that we have here, for giving us that excellent information, because that's what we were concerned about. We were concerned that there's a misunderstanding of exactly what the federal court system is all about, and judicial appointments and whatever. And we recognize that you represent that status within the court system where when they start looking for individuals and collecting names for those ultimate appointments to the United States Supreme Court, that your name probably falls within that range. I know you would like to deny that as we end the show for today, but let us thank you for coming by and giving us that excellent information. Let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.